So today we need to talk about some bad news that is coming out for a couple of European players. This does involve some players in the ERLs, but also some players in the LEC, and I think even some coaches involved in the LEC as well. We did get this tweet from Sheep Esports the other day saying official mid laners Leader and Cat Evolved will miss their first match with their new team, Ruddy and Dung Dynasty. They received a 1-match suspension for conduct unbecoming of an ERL team member, according to Riot Games LEC and ERL penalty tracker. Obviously, there's been a lot of people sounding off the comments like, saying these are adults. If you still get warnings as an aspiring pro player in 2025, that's embarrassing. I do think there's arguments to be made on both halves here. Obviously, I do believe somewhat that pro players and people in the professional scene maybe should be held to a higher standard. There should be some level of professionalism when you're playing solo queue and playing with like random people or whatever. You do want to create a positive environment. I think when other people are having fun or having a good time or enjoying the game, it's also better for you because you need there to be fans. You need there to be players of the game. When League of Legends, the community and the whole world and everything is thriving, that is literally better for all the pro players. And like I said, you should be held to a certain standard of professionalism, like all people are in their careers or at their jobs or whatever. But also at the same time, there is the other end of things where I know people talk about like, hey, do you guys think like, I don't know, like NBA basketball players when they're playing like a pickup game in the offseason or something like that, do you think they're not talking trash? Do you think they're not maybe saying some not nice things to the other team? Do you think, I can see like soccer players over in Europe, they're playing like pickup games and stuff like that. Is it very, very possible they could be calling some people names and saying some not nice things, especially in the heat of competition? Like, yeah, I absolutely do believe that. It would be insane if you saw like a professional athlete, suspended a match for something he said in like a pickup basketball game or a pickup soccer game or something like that. That would just never happen. So it is a little bit silly on both sides. I don't know. Obviously, again, the toxicity and the unprofessionalism is maybe one thing, and it's not a great look, especially publicly and stuff like that. But at the same time, once it actually starts getting suspended for like professional matches and stuff like that, I do think that can be a little bit silly and a little bit ridiculous. And I don't know. I definitely get both sides. I see both things as whatever. But this ultimately did mean that, obviously, as we saw, Leader and Cat Evolved were going to be suspended for their first match of the NLCC or for the ERL seasons. And for Ruddy, this did mean that we were going to be seeing a little bit of a substitute situation, which was super funny. Yamato tweeted out, I'm going to do today what even the greatest League player of all time could not do on this day. I will win versus Rich Gang and follow with a dunk to be the only person to win as a player and coach on the same day, which is super, super, super funny. So, obviously, Leader is the mid laner for Ruddy Sack, which is like Perks and, like their ERL team, their NLC team. They have Leader in the mid lane, but they weren't going to have Leader for the first game, which meant Perks was going to be going to the mid lane and Yamato was going to be going to the top lane, which was super funny. This is like the team with Hamza and all those streamers and stuff. We did have Cat Evolved responding to what happened. He said, I said a few dumb things in solo queue recently trying to entertain my audience, and this was the result. I'm sorry, and we'll work on setting a better example instead of acting cringe for entertainment, which I think is a good thing, but we do have kind of a little bit of a past and some things that have happened in the past with Cat Evolved as well. So hopefully he will, learn and improve from this. But also, these guys do need to watch out because obviously once they've been suspended, I'm sure there's going to be a shorter leash from them, and I'm sure any more stuff in the future is going to potentially lead to more suspensions or longer suspensions or more penalties or whatever. But we also did see this. LEC Wooloo tweeted out, various LEC coaches and players have received warnings from Riot Games. Being asked why, it's because of inappropriate, toxic behavior in solo queue. And some very, very interesting names here. We have Larson getting a warning for conduct on becoming an LEC team member. We have Vladdy on the list. We have Humanoid, Razork, Carzy, Jackie. So all kinds of really, really big names in the LEC. And I do know in the past, we have seen teams, we have seen players receive like warnings and fines and stuff like that. But it does seem like this year specifically, Riot is starting to crack down. I know there was some different things they put out about conduct that they want for like streamers and ways to act in public and professionally and stuff like that they are starting to crack down on. But now it does seem like a lot of that is coming to their professional leagues as well. So this will be something to watch out for throughout this LEC season, that they are trying to clean up, even how people act away from their professional matches, how people even act in solo queue or on stream and stuff like that. And again, all these players who now do have warnings, maybe they are at risk of being suspended or whatever at some point. And obviously this could come at very, very meaningful or very impactful time for some of these players. The LEC season matters a lot. So hopefully that will, I don't know, I guess obviously it's Riot's goal to light a little bit of a fire under their butt and make them change their ways so they don't have to risk, losing LEC matches or missing out on game checks or whatever. So that'll be something very, very interesting to watch out for. As far as Ruddy, what they were able to do in their matches, they did have that first match against Rich Gang, which they did end up losing. Again, this was with Perks in the mid lane and with Yamato Cannon in the top lane. I believe he was playing Ornn. I think Perks was on the Orion in the mid lane. Again, for this team, Perks is playing top lane for them overall, but they did have their mid laner sitting out, and Yamato wasn't going to play mid while Perks sat top, so they did have to switch things up. But then eventually they did get their full lineup back for that game 2, where they're going to be taking on Chaos Esport, and the Ruddy Sack did eventually win that match to go 1-1 on the week. Again, here's that lineup overall with Perks, Yankov's leader, Hamza, and Hustlin as their support. Very, very fun and interesting team. We are getting, obviously, the streamed kind of versions of all these matches. NLC and all the ERLs this year are really focusing on content creation and streamers and personalities and trying to get viewership and all that. Cadrill's team, Los Ratones, has been popping off so far with the viewership throughout all their co-streams and all their POV streams and all that different kind of stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. Overall, some bad news. Obviously, leader being suspended for his first match, Yamato having to come in, and the Ruddy Sack not being able to win their first match, but they went 1-1 on the week. Hopefully they'll still be okay. Obviously, leader is now back, and this is all taken care of, but like I said, leader, Cat Evolved, all these other people who have got warnings, they're going to have to watch out, and they're going to have to be careful, because it could mean more future stuff to come. So kind of an interesting thing. Yeah, it did affect the ERLs specifically this week, the week 1 starting lineups, but it also could potentially affect some teams and players in the LEC going forward as well. So maybe this is a storyline we're going to be keeping an eye on throughout the rest of the year. I don't know, what to wait and see, but pretty much it was the video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.